Hello, my name's Lola, and I'm going to react to Jaws 3D, 1983 Kill Count by Dead Meat. Um, yeah, this is pretty much where the franchise just goes downhill from here. Like, what? And I think Dennis Quaid, he's in this one, ain't he? He plays one of one of Brody's kids, I think. Uh, I'm not really sure. I've only seen this movie once, and it sucked. And the Jaws 4 was just ridiculous. Like, my God, why? Like, why? Why did the shark all of a sudden become vengeful and like I don't know, man. That movie was weird. Like, it's so stupid. Anyway, yeah, let's check this out. This was did I already say? I think it was recommended to me by Maverick Cortez. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, yeah, let's get to the kill count. If you want to like, comment, subscribe my channel, you can. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Here we go.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Jaws 3D, released in 1983 as the third entry to the Jaws franchise. Whereas Jaws 2 felt like a true sequel, featuring a lot of the same cast members as the original, Jaws 3D included none. It still involves the Brody boys, though, with older brother Mike, played by Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
But to be honest, there's no real reason to include them. Even co-writer Richard Matheson thought it was stupid, and he only wrote them in because Universal forced him to. In fact, the studio was behind a lot of this movie's development, which got so troublesome that they had a hard time finding a director. They settled on Joe Alves, who had been with the series since the start as a production designer and occasional second unit director. But Alves had never directed a full movie before, and in fact, Jaws 3D remains his one and only directing credit. Maybe that's why half this freaking movie is out of focus. I'm not sure if the Blu-ray had a bad transfer or what, but there is a lot of blurry badness here. The soft focus might also be a result of this film having been shot in 3D, using the same technology that other contemporary horror films did, like Friday the 13th Part 3 and Amityville 3. But even if the shots were in focus, we'd still be left watching what's essentially a 90-minute advertisement for SeaWorld, since this movie takes place at the Orlando theme park instead of up on Amity Island. Again, why did they bother turning Jaws into a franchise? Oh, that's right, money. How many bodies come with the price of admission for SeaWorld? Let's find out and get to the kills.
Yeah, it's pretty much the reason for all sequels. Like even if the director, writer, producer says, "Oh, I'm just going to do one movie," that's it. The studio will just demand them, like, "Hey, make another movie." And then yeah, they gotta. And if not, somebody else will step in and say, "Oh, I'll do it." Yeah.
The movie begins with a fish and a title card. Yo, did that shitty looking thing just fucking chomp at me? Get out of here, title card. Go suck some fish heads, why don't you? During the awful 3D opening credits that obscure just about everything on screen, we see a pyramid of water skiers. Or we would, if these stupid credits would get the fuck out of the way. They're practicing their routine for SeaWorld's big reopening, as are all of the employees, including the Candy Striper looking park guides.
Welcome to SeaWorld, the world's largest marine life park.
SeaWorld is reopening with a new Sea Lab-like extension called the Undersea Kingdom, a series of tubes, much like the internet, which are built underwater in a man-made lagoon. Sounds great, as long as they don't pull a Jurassic World and connect it to the ocean.
Which is connected to the open ocean by a deep water channel.
You goddamn fools. Do you want sharks in your theme park? Because that's how you get sharks in your theme park. Look, it already happened. Who'd have thunk it? SeaWorld's manager is Calvin Bouchard, played by Lou Gossett Jr., fresh off a historic Oscar-winning entertaining role in An Officer and a Gentleman. Jaws 3D wouldn't win him another Oscar, but if you want to get conspiratorial, you could argue it was his first time playing a coded gay character. Just look at that rainbow flag flying in the shots where he's introduced, or listen to his word choice describing the water skiers.
Here come my pride and joy.
His pride? Hell, you can even hear his staff talking to reporters about a colorful past.
We would, however, like to avoid references to his colorful past.
Maybe I should have covered this one during Pride Month. One of Bouchard's employees is Mike Brody himself, who's in charge of the maintenance crew and who follows a strict adherence to the 40-hour work week.
You got enough overtime. No overtime. No overtime!
Mike is dating another employee, head marine biologist Kay, who gets to spend her day riding whales and hanging out with the park's dolphins, Cindy and Sandy, who were played by SeaWorld dolphins, Capricorn and Kai. And they're such good boys. The minor role of Kay's assistant was played by Dan Blasco, the actual SeaWorld animal trainer who helped actor Bess Armstrong get acclimated with the park's animals. Although she found the prospect of riding a killer whale scary at first, Armstrong wound up being real comfortable with the animals. Like grab them by the tongue comfortable. Wait, what? Against an admittedly pretty sunset shot, one of Mike's employees, a mechanic named Shelby Overman, jumps into the lagoon so he can try to fix the gate that was destroyed when the shark swam into the park. In no time at all, Overman falls victim to a shark attack, which is done in the usual style of quick cuts and floating. Oh, never mind, that's a 3D severed arm coming at us. Whoa! That night, Overman's girlfriend Charlene, a waitress, asks Mike where her boyfriend is.
She'll be working overtime.
Oh, he
Come on,
did.
Charlene, you know what Mikey B always says.
No overtime!
Sitting with Mike and Kay is the younger Brody brother, Sean, who's visiting down from Amity, having just graduated. College, right?
A gentleman's C and incomplete, but I aced phys ed.
Phys ed? Wait, this motherfucker's in high school? Sean sees some people playing a game called Standoff, which I didn't think was real at first until I found this very helpful video online describing the game, which is also known as Gladiator Hands.
The object is to be the last person standing without moving your feet. Ready, set, go.
Who would ever want to play that more than once?
My brother considers himself to be the standoff champion of New England.
That's a little sad, dude. But he ain't lying about his standoffishness, because he jumps into a game with one of the park's water skiers named Kelly, played by Leah Thompson, and takes her down easily. And you know what they always say, the fastest way to a woman's heart is with gladiator hands. And that's why, in the span of a few minutes, they're already running around in their underwear on the shore of the SeaWorld Lagoon. Careful now, Kelly. Before you suck face, you might want to make sure that dude's not your son from the future. Mike and Kay drive down the Pride runway and Bugs Bunny their way to the shore, where they find evidence of Kelly and Sean's tryst. I don't love the acting in this movie, but I will say it looks like the cast is having fun, so that's nice. They use a bullhorn and a flashlight to prank the kissing kids, and then it's time for a group game of splashy grab ass, which is actually a disgusting phrase now that I say it aloud. Meanwhile, two jackasses have snuck into SeaWorld so they can take a raft out on the lagoon and steal coral. What?
Guy in Miami give us $200 for the good stuff.
Yo, you got that good shit, man? That Kush coral? While hunting for those primo polyps, both men are killed. The first has his flashlight extinguished underwater, usually a good sign of death, and the second, after he randomly falls from the raft, is pulled under the surface and disposed of quietly. Aw, but shit, Shark, you left some evidence behind. There you go, buddy. Just be your own cleaner. The next day at work, while Cindy and Sandy do awesome dolphin stuff, because dolphins are inherently awesome, Kay gets hit on by this British dude, Philip Fitzroyce. Hunter/photographer, who's at the park visiting his friend, Calvin Bouchard. Fitzroyce has a bagman, or something, named Jack, who always follows him around and calls him Governor.
My governor's the 16th Earl of Edenfield.
Not if my governor gets it first. For Christ's sake, governor.
Honestly, my first draft of this kill count script didn't mention Jack at all, and it worked just fine. But I kinda wanted to include all those Governor clips. Kay brushes off Fitzroyce and catches up with Mike and Charlene, who's just arrived to tell them that nobody has seen her boyfriend Overman since last night.
Shelby Overman's AWL again.
You can just say AWOL, it's faster. Since Overman's absentee, they're gonna check under the sea, because that is where they'll find he, or so they hope. They travel underneath the water, at the bottom of the sea, and wow does it look like shit. Nope, no. You don't get to play epic music for this. Not when part of your little Seamoth there is getting accidentally green screened away. Christ. They approach the lagoon's fake shipwreck of a Spanish galleon, and they'd better look out for that skeleton, because it's reaching out to get them in 3D. Wow. Then they hop out to investigate further, even though their dolphin friends say no. Probably because they know about the crappy looking shark that just rams itself right into the shipwreck. The dolphins come and rescue the humans, because seriously, dolphins are scary smart, and with their help, Mike and Kay are able to escape the shark and climb out onto the dock to fuck. They tell Calvin Bouchard that there's a shark in their lagoon, and in response, his buddy Fitzroyce gets an immediate hunting boner.
If we kill this beastie on camera, I can guarantee you media coverage.
Cool Swisher Sweet, dude. Kay argues that if they captured it alive instead, they'd have the only great white in captivity, and that could mean money too. Poor Calvin, having to pick between more money and more money. In the end, they settle on sedation and capture by means of this 3D sedative. What? Oh, got it in my mouth. Gross. Kay and Fitzroyce are gonna be doing the dirty work, and despite the stated mission, that British mofo was trying to bring grenades.
Yes, did we get into any trouble? All we have to do is pull the pin.
Hey, is it just me, or does that grenade look like an oxygen tank to you? In any case, Mike blurrily tells Fitzroyce, no disintegration. So the chap gives up his explosives and jumps in with Kay empty-handed. For protection, Kay is wearing a chainmail wetsuit that, for all this movie's inaccuracies, was actually tested and shown to be effective by Valerie Taylor, that Australian shark expert who helped film live shark footage for the first movie.
I'm wearing the Valerie Taylor chainmail wetsuit. As I understand it, there are only two of these suits in the world. One is Valerie's and one is this one that was made for Jaws.
I thought that was pretty cool. It only takes a few minutes for the shark to attack Kay's air tank, but Fitzroyce gets the beastie off of her, and as the shark swims away in disgrace, Mike lands a first time out in a hockey mask spear gun shot that attaches a red barrel, or balloon, to the fish. And to cap off their rousing success, Kay sticks the shark with a sedative. Awesome! So you've captured a great white shark. Now what? Open up the park, motherfuckers! Yeah, bring on the crowds and Shamu, the great Pied Piper. And why not have a pride parade too? Captive fish are for everybody. Hey buddy, I'm a captive mammal. A 3D captive mammal. Whoa! The park's even got scary pig lady dancers and a water skiing show set to that music that introduced Kevin Bacon in Friday the 13th. Of course, the main attraction today is the new Undersea Kingdom, which not only has a serpent leading the guests inside with a 3D tongue, wow, but also features 3D eels, wow, and a special treat for those with more tentacular tastes. But none of that is enough for Calvin, who orders the Great White exhibit to be opened against Kay's orders. She's worried that the new shark is too sick and stressed to be a star, and yeah, it's not looking great there. Wait, is that shark dead or just fake? Oh, both, I guess. Wow, the evidence of SeaWorld's negligence was around 30 years before Blackfish. The guests at SeaWorld are enjoying their tour of special effects from the 80s when their fun times on the Sea Lab set are interrupted by Overman's waterlogged corpse. Gross! I dare you to kiss it, Ashley. I wasn't serious. Gosh. Mike and Kay try to hold down their lunch as they take a look at the body, which, what, was skinned? Did that crappy looking shark skin this man? Such precision. Alarmed, they run to Calvin and talk about the one thing we all know about sharks by now.
With a bite radius about a yard across.
Yeah, bite radii. Because of that bite radius measurement, Kay tells Calvin that the captive shark that just died couldn't have killed Overman.
Its mother did.
Its mother? Oh man, does that mean the shark we just watched die was a baby shark? If only they knew where the mama shark was. Thanks, Trippy Mike voice. It is right here. And now it's here. And look around, and you'll see it's now on the surface, chasing after some water skiers. Mike races to save them in a hectic park gone amok scene that looks exactly like the one with Chris Pratt in Jurassic World, only with more vaudevillian mud dives. There's a lot of chaos and panic for a while, and the shark ends up attacking Kelly, who had been driving around on some bumper boats with Sean. But somehow, Fitzroyce manages to save her, and shockingly, nobody gets killed in this whole kerfuffle. But at least we can still trim down the cast a bit and get rid of Kelly and Sean, who goes with her in the ambulance to the hospital. Wait, why were they characters again? Calvin hops on a loudspeaker to announce that the Undersea Kingdom is closing on account of the giant shark who's swimming overhead. Yep, right up there. But make sure you exit in an orderly fashion. The shark attacks the underwater hamster tubes and cracks them open, getting some of these SeaWorld patrons trapped behind doors like third-class passengers on the Titanic. A group of them ends up sealed inside a room with water up to their waists, and the rescue mission to save these nameless guests becomes the focus of this movie's entire third act. I guess that makes sense, since this would be a pretty big news story, but it just seems like a weird choice for the climax of a Jaws movie. I mean, they are still trying to kill the shark too, obviously, and Fitzroyce makes a plan to lure it into a filtration pipe so he can blow the beastie up. To do so, Fitzroyce is going to act as live bait against the better judgment of his concerned pal Jack and spread blood around like he's doing an underwater painting show. The blood and some loud banging eventually gets the shark's attention, who swims right into their trap and gets locked inside the filtration pipe. But before he can escape the pipe himself, Fitzroyce falls victim to a shark attack and winds up, oh wow, just straight up entirely inside this thing's mouth. Damn, that almost looks like some kind of fun shark mouth Chuck E. Cheese playscape sort of thing. I bet it'd be nice to take a nap in there. You know, if it wasn't for the teeth. With the shark trapped in the pipe, Mike goes underwater to weld shut the compromised Sea Lab tunnel and save all those freezing wet no-names. Kay joins him to give him a second pair of eyes, and good thing she does, because Mama Shark has somehow managed to break those bars and swim backwards to get out of the pipe? What is this, deep blue sea? Sharks can't swim backwards.
Everything that we based our story on is predicated on a great deal of research.
What research?
Somebody's done their homework on a lot of this.
What homework?
This is extremely realistic.
No, it isn't. Mike finishes his welding job right before the crappy shark crappily appears and crappily almost gets them. Thankfully, Cindy and Sandy show up to provide some dolphin interference that lets the humans get away again. They come up out of a hatch into mission control while that flooded section of the Undersea Kingdom is pumped free of water, allowing all of those featured extras to finally escape and head off to redeem their SAG vouchers. But the park staff still has a shitty looking shark to take care of. And don't act so slow motion surprised, you fools. You knew that fucker was out there. Oh, but not that it do that. Wow, a killer great white is one thing, but now we're dealing with Stone Cold Steve Sharkston? By God! The shark's attack gives us another victim for the count, since a technician named Fred gets eaten in a simple bloody kill. Also, this is a little fucked up, because I'm pretty sure Fred was a relative of Bouchard's.
Why don't we blow it up?
Listen, nephew.
And yet, when things got crazy, Bouchard chose to save a random lady while he just watched his nephew get dragged out to his death. The shark is unable to get all the way inside the command center, and when it opens its mouth, Mike sees the body of Fitzroyce still clutching a grenade in his hand. Wait, how's that body still there if the shark just ate another? You know what? Never mind. Fuck it. Hey, Mike, in the words of Handsome Dan from Nightmare 5,
let's blow this pop stand.
And by pop stand, I mean shark, because that's what Mike does, pulling the pin from the grenade and giving us a couple of flowery red explosions and some wow bad 3D shark parts flying at the camera. Wow. Christ, this looks almost as bad as Freddy's Dream Demons. The movie ends in an incredibly what the fuck fashion as Mike, Kay, and the SeaWorld Dolphins celebrate.
Wow.
They just seriously freeze frame that garbage. And they hold it for so long. What the fuck? How many shark victims got up close and personal in 3D? Let's find out and get to the numbers. Daddy shark doo 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 doo.
No, James, no.
Only 5 people died in Jaws 3D, and turns out all of them were dudes. Sure, a mama shark blew up, but we don't put sequel shark meat in our pie charts. With a runtime of 98 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 19.6 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Philip Fitzroyce, because honestly, it just looks so damn cozy inside that shark mouth. Dull machete for lamest kill will go to the second SeaWorld burglar, who just disappeared beneath the surface, and not in a fun artsy way like his buddy with the disappearing flashlight. And that's it. Jaws 3D came out in 1983, and although it was a giant shark turd, they would try one more time to make a movie in this franchise. We'll look at that friggin' disaster next week, but until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching this Kill Count. I want to thank some patrons like Gabrielle Rain, Deku Maiteria, Gabby, Cole Johnson and Mrs. Porcupine. I initially just wanted to cover the Jaws franchise in honor of the original, but the scripts for the Jaws 3 and 4 kill counts have become some of my favorites. If you're watching this video the weekend it comes out, I'm at Comic-Con. If you're in San Diego, you can try to find me. Be good people.
Yeah, SeaWorld. Yeah, I went to SeaWorld once. It was in... What was it? It was a long time ago, man. It was in California, San Diego. Jesus Christ, it was so long ago. I think I was... How old was I? I think I was like 8 or 9 when I went. So long ago. So long ago. It was pretty cool. I just went to go see the animals, you know, like dolphins and all that, and see killer whales do tricks and all that, you know. I never got on the rides. I have never, ever liked going on roller coasters, especially big, giant ones, you know. Because I just always get that fear of like, oh, like what if something malfunctions? What if something goes wrong? Whatever. Anyway, that's it. That's my reaction to Jaws 3D 1983 Kill Count by Dead Meat. Everyone, take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.